It's going down on Playboys New Orleans on Now That's TV, and you better believe we're going to talk about it. Welcome back to the Damien After Dark YouTube channel. I'm so excited that you're here and that you decided to join me. Before we begin with this recap, please make sure you click the subscribe button and like this video below. That helps me get into the algorithm, and I really appreciate all your help. I couldn't do it without you. Join the conversation and get in the comment section below. Your voice matters. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on this week's episode, okay? Last but not least, if you would like to support and join the Damien After Dark movement, in the description box below will be some ways that you can donate using PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and Zelle. I'll also post my Amazon wishlist down there. Thank you guys so much for the love, the donations, and the support. Before we begin, I hope there's not too much feedback from the sound, because I've got my AC running. I've got a box fan in front of me running. Y'all know, no matter where you are in the world, it's probably hot as hell right now. And it's getting hot on Playboys New Orleans, right? Let's talk about it. I'm early this week, y'all. I'm early. I figured, you know, I've been giving them Playboys New Orleans late every week. Let me give them a treat and give it to them on time and early. My work schedule is a little different now. My work schedule has been shifted, so I feel like I have a little bit more time to do things like this. So let's get into it. This is episode 11, season 2, episode 11. Now the episode begins with Daro and Zane. They're at odds. Y'all know last week we talked about it. I said that, you know, next week we're gonna see where Daro and Zane have this beef. They're at odds. I really don't know where the beef comes from, to be honest with you. I think it's because of something that happened on the show already, that they fought before, because they had a fight already once before or something like that. I don't know. Like you girls are so soft. You girls are so soft and sensitive. Like you sneeze the wrong way and y'all ready to fight. Like, I get it. There's probably a lot of pressure to perform on these shows and fight, but goddamn, can we make it make sense? Can we have a reason as to why we're fighting? I feel like the guys be fighting more than the playgirls do, or what do they call them? Baddies, the South Central baddies, or whatever y'all, you know. I feel like the guys be fighting more than the girls. So the guys are out on Bourbon Street, right? Daro and Zane, you know, they're over here. They're bitching. They going off on one another. They're fighting. And then, as everybody, you know, is kind of mingling, everybody's kind of doing their own thing. Being social, drinking, having a good time. Got a little fight going on over here. Kobe decides to show up after he's been eliminated, right? We all know Kobe. He's the one that has the little pink patch under his eye. He shows up. And according to Landon says that, you know, he went and talked to Kobe. Kobe said he was not there to fight. He was just there, you know, I guess just to support. I don't know. He said Kobe claims he was not there to fight. He was not there for the drama. Now, I don't know if I believe that. What do y'all think? I don't know if I believe, Kobe, that you just showed up to show up, right? That you didn't have any intentions of maybe swinging on somebody or stirring some shit up. I don't know. Something in the milk ain't clean here. But I'd love to hear what y'all think about that. Do y'all think Kobe was innocent with coming out on Bourbon Street where the boys were? Do you think, you know, he was totally innocent in that? Or do you think he had malicious intent? So meanwhile, D. Scott is inside one of these little businesses on Bourbon Street, right? And Landon tells D. Scott that Kobe's outside. And he tells, you know, D. Scott, chill, because D. Scott's pissed at this point. Why is Kobe here? Let me go outside and check this bitch. But Landon is like, just chill out. Kobe's not trying to fight. You know, he's just chilling. We don't want no drama. We don't want no issues. D. Scott's not having it. D. Scott says, no, I'm not about that. He says when he walks outside, he's going to hit him. All right, so here go D. Scott. He walks out and he does what he says he's gonna do. Right? We don't really get to see him. We don't really see him hit Kobe because there's so many people. You know, we've already got the Now That's TV production. We already got the 50 cast members. Then we got pedestrians and citizens and tourists out in the streets of New Orleans. So we really didn't get to catch that. But see, that's where the producers and the cameramen come into play, right? That's where the producers and the cameramen come into play. The cameramen have a headset. They should have an earpiece in their ear. And the producer is telling the cameraman everywhere they should film. So somebody should have told the cameraman, D. Scott is coming out of the building. I need a cameraman on D. Scott. I need a cameraman on Kobe. Right? That's how you capture these type of moments. If you don't do that, then you get what we saw this week. Now, maybe I missed it. Maybe I was taking notes and I missed it, but I'm pretty sure I did not see, you know, D. Scott swinging on Kobe. We missed it because there was, we saw, you know, scuffling and pandemonium, but we didn't really see the actual altercation. Now, we see the scuffling in the streets. You know, they're doing their thing, and in the background, you can see tourists and people in Bourbon Street walking on the road. They all start running, and bitch, see that's me. That's any of us, really. If you live in America, us Americans, and I say that because I have international viewers over here. Bitch, we international over here. Shout out to Jamaica. I found out that 20% of my listeners are from Jamaica. Shout out to you, man. Us Americans are so traumatized from mass pow, 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 pow. You know, we can't go anywhere without somebody doing some crazy shit. So we see something scuffling going on, bitch, we out of there, okay? We out of there. We gone. You hear me? Now, Kobe, all we really see from that interaction is Kobe being carried away by security. Security is carrying him away. While they're carrying Kobe away, you know, he's punching the air, talking about this my shit, and Kobe, I liked you, but I feel like you're going out sad. Because if this was really your shit, would security be carrying you out? If this was really your shit, would you be eliminated? And I liked Kobe, I really did. But can we talk about how this beef between Kobe and D. Scott really stems from D. Scott outing Kobe and telling the whole house that Kobe painted on him while they were having sex once? Y'all remember that back in episode 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever that was. And this shit is not ended, no pun intended. Now, in Kobe's defense, he does have the right to show up wherever he wants to, right? He's from New Orleans. The Playboys were on Bourbon Street, and Kobe showed up on Bourbon Street, which is probably the most popular tourist attraction in New Orleans. So, you know, they can't say, oh, why are you here? You can't be here. However, it does look like, Kobe, it does look like you missed the show. You're mad that you got eliminated. You want to be a part of the show still. And that's fine. You can have those feelings. But coming back in this way kind of feels desperado. The only way Kobe could come back is if it was planned with the producers. You know, let's have a cool way of bringing Kobe back and starting some shit up. You feel me? And my thing too, Kobe, is how of all the places in New Orleans, of all the locations on Bourbon Street that you could go, you show up to the spot that the Playboys are at. That's why I think that you had. That's why I think that you planned to be there. There was probably more to it than just showing up. Maybe you knew that D. Scott was going to act up if you showed up, and that was your intention. I don't know. Now, in the midst of all this going on, we can't forget about Darrow and Trey Zane. Because out of nowhere, Darrow chunks a bottle at Trey Zane, and then here you go. They fighting in the streets. And for a minute, it looked like Trey Zane was eating Darrow up. Can we talk about it? For a minute, it looked like Trey Zane was eating Darrow up. And listen, I am Landon, and Landon is me. Okay? I've got a few favorites on this season, and I think Landon is one of them. But Landon said exactly what I was thinking. I'm not going to jail with y'all. Okay? I am not about to be sitting in no New Orleans penitentiary because y'all want to fight like street rats on the street. No, ma'am. Save that for back home. Because it's all fun and games till the police show up. Because now that's TV ain't going to be able to save you. Y'all might think because you want to show and you got security that you safe. But once the laws show up, it's what they say goes. So, if it was me, baby, I don't know them. I don't know them. Now, did y'all notice D. Scott? Well, he was walking around getting beads from people. It's Mardi Gras, of course. That's what you do. You get the beads, right? And he went up. These people were giving him beads, and he went up to Mam Mam, and he wanted some of Mam Mam's beads. And Mam Mam was like, "You gonna give me a couple dollars? Just give me a couple dollars, and we'll be even." And I was like, "Is he being serious, or is he joking?" Because I'm like, I know now that Stevie ain't paying y'all much. Y'all probably each got $500. Mam Mam been walking around with the same shirt he's had on since he got there. That black shirt that says "Only God Can Judge Me" with the prayer hands on it. Go back and watch. I ain't lying. He's had the same motherfucking shirt on since he got there. So maybe he needed a couple dollars. I just thought it was kind of odd. Like, what the fuck am I gonna pay you for some beads for? The fuck? No. Maybe he was kidding. I don't know. Now that's TV. Y'all need to cut the check. Y'all got these boys fighting for their life, and y'all paying them $1.50. Come on now. Yes, so favorites. I want to know who y'all's favorites are too, by the way. If you have any favorites on this season, because so far I really like Landon, just because Landon don't let nobody punk him, and he stands on his own 2 feet, and it is what it is. And I also, same for Kai Bands. I really like Kai Bands because coming into this show, I didn't know how I felt about Kai Bands. I thought he was kind of like a stunt queen, and he was just loud, or not loud, but he just had a mouth on him. I just thought he was like a little, you know, queen that had a mouth on him. Like, oh god, one of those girls. When it come to find out, Kai Bands can talk the talk, but he can also walk the walk and back that shit up. So I respect that so much. And he's a little cutie. He be walking around with his little braces on, his little heels. He's cute. I like Kai Bands. So Kai Bands and Landon. And I really liked Rich Zay at first. The jury's still out on him because he does seem a little parched. You know, he be like, he wants to fight just because he hasn't fought before. Him and October fought literally because Zay had no fights on the show, and he wanted to feel important, I guess. Now, back at the house, Isaiah is telling all the boys to pack their bags. Pack y'all's bags. Pack y'all's bags. And I'm just like trying to figure out what's going on. Are y'all going home? Are y'all moving locations? I don't know. Shit like that just don't make sense to me. Why is Isaiah telling everybody to pack their bags? Can we explain something? Now, we see that the show ends up, the boys end up visiting a homeless shelter. And I give them A for effort, because just like last week, we saw them go to the tarot card reader, the voodoo place, right? This week, they're going to a homeless shelter. So I have to give Now That's TV an A for effort when trying to have some balance, right? Not making every single episode fight night. Just nothing but fights. We need some balance. We don't want to just be force-fed the fighting nonstop. So seeing the guys go to a homeless shelter, I was like, okay, something different, right? And it's a positive thing too. So I love the scene. I love the scene of the boys going there, helping out, volunteering, hearing from the people who work there and what they do and whatnot. We hear the woman, the lady that works there. We hear her speak about, how they give back at these shelters. And one thing that I took away from this episode that lady said was, the lady that worked at the shelter, she told the boys, God didn't create us for us to live under a bridge. And that really hit me, because that's so true, right? So many people, we be in our cars, we see homeless people, we see folks living under a bridge, and yeah, that's a choice. They may have chose to do that, but we weren't created to just exist and live under a bridge like a piece of trash. So I think that it was just eye-opening to watch. It was nice. It inspired me to want to go donate my time and do something like this, because we don't realize sometimes we go through our day-to-day motions and go through life and take for granted sometimes the things that we have, the mental capabilities that we have to get out here and go to work every day and provide for ourselves and put a roof over our head and eat what we want and travel and do the things that we want to do, when some people really don't have the bandwidth or the capabilities to get out here and do those things, because they're just so far gone from drugs or mental issues, mental problems, things that they've dealt with, trauma, so much that's not really talked about, that I feel like we kind of just ignore as a society. So it is refreshing to see that there are still good people out here in the world who are doing work like this, And what was cool about this place, this homeless shelter, was that the people that come there have access to a hot meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I believe. A shower. You can go there and groom, get your hair cut. They do makeovers. They had free medical, free dental, free vision. They had resources for these people. It wasn't just come in here and lay your head down. It's like, what can we do to help you get you back on the right track? And I respect that. They even had a place for you in there to come in there and get clothes. I thought that was cool. They had like their own little Goodwill. And it was all non-profit. Like, it was all through donations. Not funded by the state. Nothing like that. Now, Ruby opens up to Mal, Isaiah, and the producer about, how being at this homeless shelter kind of hits home for him, because coming into the show, somebody robbed him and took literally every piece of clothing that he had. So Ruby says coming into the show, he had no clothes. He had nothing to wear. And he says, at the end of the day, a lot of us are spoiled and we don't even realize it, because you see people out here, just what I pretty much said, right? Going through the motions every day, living our day-to-day life. We don't even realize how great we have it sometimes. Now, the producers do tell Ruby they appreciate him opening up and being vulnerable about having nothing, coming in here with nothing, because they say that a lot of guys wouldn't have been open about that. A lot of guys would have faked the funk, would have come in there acting like they're rich and this and that, and really in reality they wouldn't have had shit. So, and I respect that too. I appreciate Ruby opening up about that too. And that's what makes a good reality star, is when you've got to be open and you've got to be vulnerable. Live your life like the camera's not there, because the whole point is for us to relate to you. The whole point is for us to relate to you, watch you, either feel inspired or be informed, or cheer you on, root for you. Now, Ruby, I'm with you when you're right, but baby, I can't be with you when you're wrong, okay? And that's the thing. Like I said, Ruby, he makes a great reality star, and I think he does. He's vulnerable, he's outspoken, but then he goes and does some tacky, lowbrow shit like this. We see Rich Zay in his confessional bring up the fact that Ruby is wearing sweatpants that say cocksucker on the front and the back. Now, see, Ruby, I was trying to big you up. I was trying to give you your props, give you your tens, give you your respect, give you your flowers. And then you go do some shit like this. Of all places, Ruby, how you gonna come up in a homeless shelter wearing pants that say cocksucker? Really? Have some decorum. Have some class. And I agree with Rich Zay. Like, I agree with him on that. Like, I know you had your clothes stolen. Ruby. But before, I don't care if every article of clothing I had was stolen. I would walk up in there naked before I walked in there with some pants that say cocksucker on them. It's just embarrassing. Like, ew, you know what I mean? Like, they already look at us like we're jokes. You know, people already look at the gay community like we're jokes and we're weirdos and, oh, they're perverts and all this shit. You don't make it any better when you walking around with pants that say cocksucker on them, okay? That's what we call faggotry in the gay community, all right? And I don't use that word a lot, but that's what it's given. And also, I feel like it makes you a target. Like, shit like that makes you a target for these crazy homophobic extremists. Like, some people would attack him for that. Seriously. Like, he should be able to wear what he wants. You could be the biggest cocksucker you want, and if you want to advertise it, go right ahead. But some people are crazy. They would come up to you and attack you because they're just, you know. But this also, this was the perfect opportunity. Fuck saying it in the confessional, Zay. A producer should have pulled Rich Zay to the side, or somebody, and said, hey, you see Ruby's pants? Go over there and address him about the pants. Ask him why he would wear that to a homeless shelter. That way we could have got like a little scene about that while they're there, or outside the homeless shelter, or you know what I mean? I don't know. It just wasn't cute. And if it was me, I wouldn't want to be associated with it, because you're representing us as a group. Then you got Trey Zane outside crying. And I thought at first he was crying because of the impact from the homeless shelter or something. You know, maybe that impacted him emotionally. But no, he over here crying about a fight. I'm like, girl, if you don't shut the fuck up. Like, this is not about you. Shut up. Nobody cares about Ma'am and the fight with Dara and all that. Shut up. Like, I just can't. I can't. Now we see yet another Playboy is brought into the mix. I think this is cast member number 652. His name is Dully, something like that. I'm sure he's probably a past cast member from the network. The way he's talking and the way, you know, I don't know. I needed more context clues, but from what I was gathering, he'd been on the show before, and he's here now, and he's mad. He wants to fight. He wants to beat Isaiah's ass, of course. You know, let me come in. Let me do my big one. Let me show them that I'm Big Mama Don. You know, but at the same time, I'm like, as a new viewer, I don't know what's going on. What is their history? Who is this person? Why does he want to fight Isaiah? How do him and Isaiah know each other? What is their past? Why is he showing up on episode 11? We need context. Now that's TV. Come on now. So, it's Dully versus Isaiah. Right. They get their fists up. They go at it. Now, I want to know what y'all think. Are you team Dully? Are you team Isaiah? Who do you think won that round? Who do you think won that? Because I feel like Isaiah took that first round. Now, some people might think of that otherwise, only because Isaiah hit the ground. But Isaiah didn't hit the ground because Dully pulled him to the ground. I think it was because of all the producers and all the. I mean, there's literally 50, 60 people in this little apartment. The claustrophobia that I get watching. So I can only imagine trying to fight somebody when there's this many people around. But Isaiah's little ass was keeping up. Okay? And speaking of Isaiah, I thought you wasn't a cast member. I thought you wasn't a cast member, Mr. CEO. If you want to be a CEO, you gotta step down from being a cast member, because you're gonna be treated like one always. You're always going to be treated like a cast member. Could y'all imagine Carlos King or Mona Scott Young fighting on their show? Coming on their show and fighting? Could you imagine Mona Scott King walking on the Love and Hip Hop set and fighting? Or Carlos King walking on the Love and Marriage set and fighting? And then after Dully, this whole Dully and Isaiah, this first round, you know, Dully brings up, oh, bitch, I had you on the ground. You was on the ground, bitch. You was on the ground. It's like, baby, you didn't do nothing. You didn't, but you had like you slammed him to the ground and you did all this rah-rah. You didn't do anything, Dully, from what I saw. I mean, yeah, he might have got a lick or two in, but Isaiah's little short ass kept up with you. I don't know. It seems like Dully is talk to me. It's giving camera time queen. That's what it's giving me. I want to get a chance to know Dully a little bit more, but we're on episode 11, so I don't know how much more we have to get to know him. But security fucked that fight up between them. They really did. They fucked that fight up because neither one of them could really get a grasp on one another for being pulled back. Now, dude with the dreads and the little chipped tooth that's wearing red and don't really speak much, he's obviously Team Isaiah. I don't know what his and Isaiah's past are. I don't know if they're best friends. I don't know if they was fighting. I don't know what was going on. But he sees this fight going on between Dully and Isaiah, and you know, he's trying to get in and get his lick in. He's trying to help Isaiah out and swing on this Dully guy. So now we see, and by the way, his Instagram name is Nickel Boy. I don't know what they call him on the show. I don't know what his name is. He's been mute the whole time. Look around, everybody on mute. That's how he's been. So I don't really know. This is the most we've heard from this guy, this Nickel Boy. This is the most I've seen from him. But he wants to have Isaiah's back, and he wants to run his fade with Dully. Now, baby, when they got to fighting, when Dully and Nickel Boy got to fighting, shit, they was fighting for their motherfucking life, okay? And the dude in the red, I was actually kind of impressed because, like, they were swinging so fast at one another, but the little dude in the red was like he would do like this and like dodge the hits so quick, and I'm like, oh my god, like, how do y'all do it? How do you keep up with each other like that? So we see them swinging on each other. You know, eventually dude gets to Dully in the floor. They kind of fall on the floor, and then Isaiah jumps in and he's kicking on dude. He's trying to punch on dude. Security's trying to get them all off of each other. You know, this is the most woke I've ever seen this guy in the red, Nickel Boy, or whatever his name is. You know, he's been there from the beginning, I think. I'm surprised he hasn't got eliminated. I guess because he's Isaiah's butt buddy. He's still there. But Isaiah is upset because he's saying that this is not fair. Dully had rings on. He had rings on his hand. That's why he's, you know, that's why there's blood in my mouth. But someone from production says that, you know, he had no rings on. Dully had no rings. They say they searched him. And Isaiah's like, okay, fuck it, fine. That's not even an issue. Let's run it. I want to run it again. I want to run it again. Which Isaiah's mouth is bleeding, but I think it's from the braces. I don't think it's from a ring, my love. I think it's from them braces you got on. Because, I mean, and I would give it to Dully if I thought Dully really busted Isaiah's lip open, but I don't think he did. I just think it was from the braces. So Isaiah felt like that first round wasn't fair. So they run it a second time. Now that second round, Isaiah pulled a motherfucking Krishan on that ass. and had old boy Dully in the sink and was cleaning the dishes up with that ass. Y'all remember how Krishan did Persuasion on Baddies South season 2? That's the way Isaiah had Dully in the motherfucking sink washing them dishes up, bitch. That's the way it looked. Now, next week we may have to watch it and see, and it might play out differently. We might see a different angle. I don't know, but who took that home? Who y'all giving that to? Y'all giving? Look at round 1. Look at round 2. We're gonna vote. We're gonna judge them as one, based off round 1 and round 2. Who took that fight home? Dully or Isaiah? I would love to hear from you, so make sure you get in the comment section and let me know your thoughts and opinions on that. I have to give it to Isaiah based off of what I saw. Now next week we see Landon versus one of the guys who barely speak. I can't even think of his name. I guess he decided he needs to clock in before he gets eliminated, but I can't think of the guy's name. Anyway, Landon is fighting somebody next week. One of the background singers, and we also see Kashi versus Dully. I believe it's Dully that Kashi was fighting. Yeah, and it looked like Kashi was knocking Dully to his feet. Looked like Kashi was in there. We're going to have to watch it and see, but make sure you leave me your thoughts and opinions on this episode. Let me know which side you're on, whose team you're on, who is your favorite cast members so far. Let me know who your faves are. I would love to hear from you on that. I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and like this video. That helps me get into the YouTube algorithm so more people like yourself can find me, and we can continue to grow the family over here, okay? Join the conversation, and if you would like to support the Damien After Dark movement, in the description box below will be some ways that you can donate using PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, or Zelle. I'll also post my Amazon wish list. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. Thank you for just being there. I really appreciate it. If you want more Damien After Dark, make sure you listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcast. The Damien After Dark podcast streams there weekly. You can take the podcast on the go. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.